Hi everyone, today we will discuss regarding canal system in sponges and its significance. Introduction. All the cavities of the body traversed by the currents of water which nourish the sponge from the time it enters by the pores that are called as ostia, which are also called as incurrent pores, until it passes out by osculum, are collectively termed as canal system. In Olynthis, the canal system is seen and it is the simplest type of canal system. In other forms, it may attain a high degree of complexity, but its general evolution can nevertheless be reduced to simple process of growth on the part of primitive Olynthis, resulting in folding of the walls and accompanied by a restriction of the colloid or coinocyte cells to certain regions. In the gradual and continuous process of differentiation, three distinct types of organization can be distinguished, which connected by numerous transitions may yet be considered as three styles of architecture. Let us see the types of the canal system. The body wall of the sponge is folded to produce a complex system of pores and canals for the entrance of water current. So depending upon the arrangement of these canals in sponges, there are usually four types of canal system in sponges. They are askinoid type, cycloid type, leuconoid type and rhagon type. In leuconoid type, again we can see uripilus, aphodal and diplodal type of canal system. So in sponges we can see four types of canal system. They are askinoid, cycloid, leuconoid and rhagon type of canal system. Let us see the first type, that is the askinoid type of canal system. It is the simplest type of all the type of the canal system. It is seen in Olynthis and Leucosolenia. Here the body, if you see that, it is a vase shaped body that will show the radial symmetry, and it consists of thin wall enclosing a large central cavity that is called a spongocoel, opening at the summit by the narrowed osculum. The wall is composed of an outer and inner epithelium with a mesenchyme between them. So the outer or dermal epithelium, it is termed as epidermis and consists of a single layer of flat cells. The inner epithelium, that is lining the spongocoel, it is composed of coinocytes or collar cells. So the mesenchyme contains skeletal spicules and several types of amoebocytes. All are embedded in a gelatinous matrix which is present inside the mesenchyme. The wall of the askinoid sponge is perforated by numerous microscopic apertures that are termed as incurrent pores or ostia, which extend from the external surface to the spongocoel. So each pore is intracellular, that is, it is a canal through a tubular cell called porocyte. So this is the askinoid type of canal system, where we can see the vase shaped body, and the body mainly consists of outer and inner epithelium. The outer epithelium we can call them as epidermis. Inner epithelium, which is lining the spongocoel, that we can call them as coinoderm, that mainly consists of coinocytes or collar cells. In between these two layers we can see the mesenchyme that encloses the gelatinous matrix, in which we can see the spicules, amoebocytes, etc. And here the large cavity that is present inside that, we can call them as a spongocoel or paragastric cavity, which will opens out through a single opening that is called as osculum or exit pore. So the water current impelled by the flagella of the coinocyte passes through the incurrent pores into the spongocoel and it comes out through the osculum. So this is the simplest type, where the outside water enters through the incurrent pores or ostia into the spongocoel and it will comes out through osculum outside. So this is the flow of water current in askinoid type of canal system. where the outside water enters into the incurrent pores. From there it will enters into spongiocele and comes out through osculum. On its passage, it will pass the food and oxygen and carrying away the metabolic wastes. Oscanite type of canal system, it is seen in Olynthus and Leucosolenia. According to Hyman, the important features of the oscanoid structure are the simple wall and the complete continuous lining epithelium of coinocytes, which are interrupted only by the inner ends of the porocytes. The oscanoid type of sponges specifically resemble a typical gastrula. So this is the first type of canal system, that is oscanoid type of canal system, where we can see in Olynthus and Leucosolenia. Let us go for the second type of canal system. The second type of canal system, that is called a cycloid type of canal system. The cycloid type of canal system is formed by the outpushing of the wall of an oscanoid sponge at regular intervals into finger-like projections that are called as radial canals. At first, these radial canals are free projections and the outside water surrounds the whole length, for there are no any definite incurrent channels. But in most of the cycloid sponges, the walls of the radial canals will fuse in such a manner as to leave between them tubular spaces, that are the incurrent canals, which will open to the exterior between the blind outer ends of the radial canals by apertures that are termed as dermal ostia or dermal pores. Since these incurrent canals represent the original outer surface of the oscanoid sponge, they are necessarily lined by epidermis. So radial canals, being the outpushings of the original spongiocele, are necessarily lined by coinocytes and are therefore better called as flagellated canals. So the interior of the cycloid sponge is hollow and forms a large spongiocele which is lined by the flat epithelium derived from epidermis. The openings of the radial canals into the spongiocele are termed internal ostia. The cycloid sponge retain the radial vase form of the oscanoids, and the spongiocele opens to the exterior by a single terminal osculum. So the wall between the incurrent and radial canals, it is pierced by a numerous minute channels that are called as prosophiles. So if you see the flow of water current, the water current in cycloid sponges, it will take place in the following manner. So the outside water enters through the dermal pores. From there it passes to incurrent canals. From incurrent canals it enters into prosophiles, radial canals, apophiles, excurrent canals, internal ostia, and finally reaches the spongiocele. From spongiocele the water will be sent out through osculum. So here in between the incurrent canal and radial canal we can see the prosophiles. Similarly, in between the radial canals and excurrent canals we can see the apophiles. So this is the flow of water current in cycloid type of canal system. So the cycloid sponges, it will differ from the oscanoid type in two important particulars. So the first one is in the thick folded walls containing alternating incurrent and radial canals. So here, due to folding of the body wall, it will form the incurrent canal and radial canal which are arranged alternatively with each other. Just you see here, this is incurrent canal, radial canal. So alternatively the incurrent canals and radial canals are arranged in this manner. So in the breaking of the coinocyte layer, which is no longer lines the whole interior, but it is limited to certain definite chambers that are called as radial canals. So that the cycloid structure occurs in two main stages. The first type, it is illustrated in a few of the heterocoelous calcareous sponges, especially in the members of genus Cycon. So in the second stage, the epidermis and mesenchyme, they will spread over the outer surface. It will be forming either thick or thin cortex, often containing special cortical spicules. So the epidermis will becomes pierced by more definite pores than leading to narrowed incurrent canal. So this is the cycnoid type of canal system without cortex. This is cycnoid canal system with cortex. So this is related to cycnoid type of canal system which is seen in cycon. Let us go for the third type of canal system, that is leuconoid type of canal system. As a result of further process of folding of the choanocyte layer and the thickening of the body wall, the leuconoid type of canal system develops. So the choanocyte layer of the radial canal of the cycnoid stage, it will evaginates into many small chambers, and these may repeat the process so that the clusters of small rounded oval flagellated chambers will be present that will replace the elongated chambers of the cycnoid stage. So the choanocytes are limited to these chambers. Mesenchyme fills in the spaces around the flagellated chambers. The spongocele is usually obliterated and the whole sponge becomes irregular in structure and indefinite in form. So the interior of the sponge becomes permeated by many incurrent and excurrent canals that will join to form a larger excurrent canal and spaces which lead to the oscula. So the surface is covered with epidermal epithelium and it is pierced by many dermal pores that are called as ostia and oscula. The dermal pores leads into incurrent canals that branch irregularly through the mesenchyme. So the incurrent canals lead into small rounded flagellated chambers by openings still termed as a prosophiles. The flagellated chambers open by apertures called apophiles into the excurrent canals or excurrent channels, and these will unite to form larger and larger tubes, of which the largest one, it will open into oscula, from where the water will be sent outside. So the main characteristics of the leuconoid type of canal system are the limitation of the choanocyte to small chambers, the great development of the mesenchyme, and the complexity of the incurrent and excurrent canals. If you see the flow of water current, the course of water current is followed here as given in this figure. So here the outside water enters through the dermal ostia, from where it passes through incurrent canals. From incurrent canals it can enter into flagellated chambers either by prosodus or prosophiles. From flagellated chambers into excurrent canals through apophiles or apodus. Later on, the excurrent canals will join with each other to form larger channels that will open into osculum, and finally the water will be sent outside. This is the course of water current leuconoid type of canal system. The leucon type of canal system is very efficient, and most of the sponges built on the leuconoid plan, and they attain a considerable size. So they are always irregular in structure, but the flow of water current of the water is fairly rapid and efficient. So the leuconoid type of canal system exhibit numerous variations but present three stages of evolution. We can see they are euryphilous type, apodal and diplodal. So these three subtypes are included under leuconoid type of canal system: euryphilous, apodal and diplodal type. Eurypylus type. So in the Eurypylus leuconoid type of canal system, the flagellated chambers are larger in size, thimble shaped, each opening directly into that of the excrement canal by a wide aperture that is called as apophile, and receive the water supply directly from the incurrent canal through prosophile. So if you see the flow of water current, the outside water enters through the dermal pores or ostia into subdermal spaces. These are the dermal pores through which the water enters, and it reaches the subdermal spaces. From there it will enter through the incurrent canals into that of the flagellated chambers through prosophiles. From flagellated chambers, the water will enter into that of the excrement canal through apophiles. All the excrement canals will join with each other to form larger channels, and finally it will open into spongocoel. From there the water will be sent out through osculum. So this is the leuconoid type of canal system with Eurypylus type, which is seen in Leucilla. So let us go for the second type of leuconoid type of canal system, that is aphodal type of leuconoid type of canal system. In this type, the flagellated chambers are small and rounded. The opening of each flagellated chamber into excrement canal is drawn through a narrow tube that is called as aphodus. So the relation of the flagellated chambers to the incurrent canals remain as before. So if you see the flow of water current, that is outside water, it will enter through dermal ostia into subdermal space, dermal ostia, subdermal space. Through incurrent canals it reaches the flagellated chambers by prosophiles. From flagellated chambers through aphodus it will reaches excrement canal. From excrement canal, all the excrement canals will join together to form larger channels that will open into spongocoel. From there the water will be sent out through osculum. So this aphodal type of canal system, it is seen in Geodia and Stellata. Let us see the third type of leuconoid type of canal system, that is diplodal type of canal system. So in some cases there is also a narrow current tube, that is prosodus, between the incurrent canal and the flagellated chamber. Such condition is called as diplodal. So here if you see, the dermal pore will be there through which the water enter into subdermal spaces. From there it will reach into that of the flagellated chambers through prosodus. From flagellated chambers it will reach into that of the excrement canal through aphodus. So here we can see in between the incurrent canal and flagellated chamber prosodus, and in between the flagellated chamber and excrement canal aphodus will be present. So prosodus and aphodus are present, that's why it is called as diplodal type of canal system. And finally the excrement canal, it will open into that of the spongocoel. From there the water will be sent out through the osculum. So this type of canal system, it is seen in Oscarella, Spongilla, etc. So let us go for the fourth type of the canal system, which is seen in sponges, that is the Ragone type of canal system. So in calcareous sponges, the leuconoid structure may be attained by way of asconoid and syconoid stages. So in Demospongia, it is derived from a stage termed as Ragone, which in turn arises by direct rearrangement of the inner cell mass. The Ragone type of sponge has a broad base and it is having conical in shape with a single osculum at the summit. So the basal wall, we can call them as a hypophyre, which is devoid of flagellated chambers. The upper wall, which is bearing a row of small oval flagellated chambers, that we can call them as a spongophyre. So basal wall, we can call them as hypophyre, which is devoid of flagellated chambers. The upper wall, we can call them as spongophyre, where we can see this flagellated chambers. So the spongocele is bordered by oval flagellated chambers opening into it by wide apophyles. So between the chambers and the epidermis lies a considerable thickness of mesenchyme, which is traversed by incurrent canals and subdermal spaces. So the dermal pores or ostia opens into subdermal spaces, which extends below the entire surface of the body. So this rag-on type of canal system we see in Spongilla. So let us see here in this figure, we can see the basal wall. We can call them as a hypophyre, which is completely devoid of flagellated chamber. The upper wall, we can call them as a spongophyre, which is in conical in shape, and it is having the flagellated chambers. So here branching incurrent canals lead from the subdermal spaces into small flagellated chambers, which have been formed by breaking down of radial canal. The flagellated chambers alone are lined by coinocytes. So from the flagellated chambers, excrement canals lead into that of the spongocele. So the incurrent and excrement canals may be complex and branched. So the spongocele, it will open through a single opening, that is the osculum. So the course of water current, if you see that, the water will enter through dermal ostia, subdermal spaces, incurrent canals, prosophiles, then flagellated chambers. From flagellated chambers, it will reach the excrement canals through apophyles. All the excrement canals will open into that of the spongocele, that will send the water outside through osculum. So this is the rag-on type of canal system which is seen in Spongilla. So let us see the functions of canal system. The canal system, which draws water current inside the sponge's body and maintains a continuous uninterrupted flow of water, plays a vital role in the physiology of sponges because it serves the various kinds of functions like nutrition, respiration, excretion and reproduction. So first of all, we will go through this nutrition and respiration. So the sponges are holozoic and bring various kinds of microscopic organisms as food, such as bacteria, diatoms, protozoans and other organic particles with the water currents inside the body. So the selected food are digested by the coinocytes of the flagellated chambers and serves the purpose of nutrition. Let us go for respiration. A continuous flow of water, it will bring oxygen inside, and exchange of the gases will take place between the dissolved oxygen of the flowing water and the cells of the sponge along the course of water flow. By this, respiration will lead out. So let us go for the next function, that is excretion and reproduction. Excretion. Here the excretion, that is elimination of nitrogenous waste products, that we can call them as a excretion. So here the canal system, especially in sponges, if you see that they are the sedentary animals, all the activities, it will be carried out through the canal system only, that is nutrition, respiration, elimination of nitrogenous waste products, reproduction, etc. So here the outgoing flow of water current moves the various kinds of metabolic waste materials such as ammonia, urea, uric acid and other nitrogenous excretory products. Reproduction. So here, especially the sexual reproduction, it is carried out through the gametes. So here the sperms from one cyclone, it can reach the other cyclone through this water currents only. So the incoming water current, it will brings the sperms which are captured by the choanocytes that are lining the radial canals or the flagellated chamber that mainly help in fertilization. As a result of that, the fertilization will takes place. So here the water which is flowing in the canal system, that will facilitate the transport of the gametes. As a result of that, the fertilization will takes place. Especially the sperm will be captured by the choanocyte and helps in the fertilization. By this manner, the canal system in sponges, it will carry out nutrition, respiration, excretion and reproduction functions. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe. If you are watching my video for the first time, please subscribe my channel.